Okay, so there's not a lot to watch this morning. PLRX is probably my favorite of all of them. Not really sure what I think about it because it's pretty extended at this point. I would imagine the volatility is going to be pretty extreme at the open here, but I'm not for sure on it just because it's had such a huge climb, but it's a steady, slow incline. So there's a quick pop, now down to 16. So from my understanding on this one, it has quite a bit of room to the downside before we see a recovery or we see a move back up. Just because of how extended it's been going. Could get in here. One thing I haven't checked actually is the spreads. Could get in at 1640. That was a nice break of 17 there. That would have been an amazing trade if I took that right there. I would have to take very small size on this one. 300 shares is what I'd have to start with. Just because of how, jeez, that's such a strong stock. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't get halted here, so that way we could see a push up. But it looks like it's actually going to get halted, so that was a huge missed opportunity on my end. So there it's halted. What a strong stock. I don't know what the news is on this. I was debating to get in there for the break of this last 1 minute high at 1640. Let me see what the news is actually. Okay. Okay, so we'll watch this one at open. But nothing else has hit the scans yet. TBLT, I do love this move right here. I'm long right here at 82. Or at 80, I guess. Looking for a higher break than just 84. But I might have to get rid of it now. Take a loss on it, I guess. So I'm for a bigger break than just 84, but I'm going to try and get rid of it. Sold it at 83. Well, there's 85 now. 86. So that's a little unfortunate. So that was pretty much a break-even trade. Maybe even a loser if I'm being honest, just because of the commission. 83. I bought it at 80. Well, I bought it at 79, so it's going to be a small winner. I should have taken a large size on this one. I don't even know why this is on my scans. This is our leading gapper actually, but I have no idea why this is on my scans. It's not moving or anything at all. The next 5 minute on this one doesn't look too bad. I could take a large share position once more in preparation for PLRX. I wouldn't mind buying this dip here at VWAP, but I don't like that it's within the same candle. 5-minute MACD is gonna cross back down is what it looks like, and there's a rejection here, so I'm not gonna mess with this one anymore. PLRX should resume when 36.39. DWAC is on the scans as well. It is forming a sort of symmetrical triangle here. There's the breakout. I would trade this one, but realistically in the account when it opens, I'm not going to be able to trade it, so that's why I'm just not going to try trading it. But I would have taken an entry down here at open pretty much. The open would have been 930 is where I would have liked to get in. But again, the spreads were big. I didn't really look at that. That's another thing we gotta watch out with PLRX. The spreads weren't that big, they were kind of tight. But the volatility behind it, you know, I could be down 50 cents in a couple, not even a couple seconds, a half a second. Milliseconds here. All right, so here's open. I'm not gonna chase this one. If it goes straight into another halt, it's gonna be pretty unfortunate, but could buy the dip. Now the spreads are getting a little bigger, so this one's one I definitely have to be careful with. I'm not gonna chase it up here. I have to wait for a proper setup. And this is also one that I shouldn't be trading because the spreads are a little big. They're not as big as some other stocks we've traded, but they are getting a little wild. I would say they're about 10 cents. I just can't really tell because it's just moving so fast. At times it's 10 cents, at times it's 15 cents, and then I see bigger spreads about 30 cents. But I can't tell if I'm just too slow looking back and forth or so it is holding this 1880 level. Well, was holding. It's holding 18 for sure. Let's see if we get a break of 18. Break of this last 1 minute low. So if we get a break of this last 1 minute low, we have room maybe till, I don't even know. Let's see if it breaks it on this candle and pops back up. If it breaks it on this candle and snaps back up, it's a double bottom there. Finishing low though. All of the time frames look okay. I don't want to get in here. I want to see that break if it's low. Now if it continues holding up here, then I could take an entry. So there, broke its low. I'm gonna go long right here at 42. And at the break at 18, I'm out. It's 49 now. So I got in a little early, I would say. I got in because it broke. It's 45 of those 18. I'm about to stop it with a 40-cent loss, maybe. And I'm stopping out there at 1805. So kind of unfortunate. I did get long there because it was holding for such a long time. That I felt, I mean, I caught some slippage, like bad slippage. Got in at 42 out of 1805. So that was a big loser, but on small share size. So still about $150 loss right there, I think. But again, I got in there because it was holding. This is kind of the rip I was expecting. Kind of unfortunate I wasn't in on this trade. So one candle too early, but I was expecting a massive push because, you know, it hit 18, it broke its last low, but it wasn't breaking significantly. So I was kind of anticipating a push and possible break of its last 1 minute high. But I mean, I had to stop out. I would be breaking my rules if I didn't sell at 18. I accidentally bought there. I did not mean to buy that, but we'll see what this does, I guess. I'm in at 94 now. Kind of unfortunate. I wasn't looking to buy right there, if I'm being completely honest, but let's see if this decides to go and break 19. Doesn't look like it's going to want to do it here. I should be stopping out here for the break of 50, but for some reason I'm still in it. I'm in at a really bad fill too. That's what also sucks. Now the stock looks pretty weak, I would say. It's finishing kind of high here, actually. Not as high as I hoped, but can we get that last 1 minute high break through 19 here? Break of its last low, I'm stopping out. Stopped out right there. With a really bad fill once more. So terrible fills here, 51, 79. So I'm definitely right on the day significantly. If it pops here, I'm going to be so pissed too. Oh, I didn't even realize it's easy to borrow here. Crazy. I guess I might have to flip short. See if it has one last spike through 19. I'm going to try and get short here at 70. Well, canceling my order. Didn't get filled there, I guess. See if we get that break of 19 here. Get in short there at 82. I might add into this in this next candle here. I'm adding there. There's an immediate rejection. So my average is about 75, I would say. I'm definitely losing on this short now. Sheesh. That's gonna cost me big. All right, that's kind of it. So this was definitely, damn, this is definitely a big loss. After a high green streak too. This sucks. So I was really anticipating that the break of the last 1 minute low. I got in for a good short entry here. I just didn't sell it because I was really thinking it was gonna break 50, break the low of this candle here. Once it broke 50, then I would imagine it would hit a snap to 18. And if it broke through 18, then I thought we should be good, but I obviously wasn't trading in the right direction each time I traded. Each time was just a flop. I don't even know. I thought this one had a lot more strength behind it. So that's why I bought in long in certain positions. But I misjudged the stock completely, and now I'm taking a bigger loss. So this definitely, look, there's the big rejection I was looking for. Just candle or two too early. I still want to trade it if I'm being honest, because this next 5 minutes gonna open here. I was expecting a spike like this, but I wasn't expecting it after its rejection of 19. I'm gonna get short here again. Try and actually get this position going finally. I'm gonna get in once more, add into my short there for the break. Adding to my short once more. That's so crazy. I don't even know. I honestly, I'm literally throwing at this point. Adding in once more. Like, obviously I couldn't do this in my actual account. Like, there's no way I could take 900 shares here in my live account at this point. Like, my account would have been blown up like right now. There's no way. But I know, I could tell right now I'm revenge trading. I still feel that it can go to the downside, but that's the problem right there, is that I feel it can go to the downside. Obviously, it's a symmetrical triangle. It broke out to the high side. This shouldn't even be a short. I shouldn't even be in for a short. Couldn't break originally, so why am I still in for a short? Gonna rip higher. So just as it's doing here. The only reason I'm in for a short at this point is because I believe, right, the MACD is getting close, and I'm gonna expect a rejection. But really, I mean, like, what am I actually doing? So adding again there, adding up here, and it's getting halted. Like, this had to have been the most stupid trade I've ever taken. This one's even worse. I'm gonna get out. Oh, accidentally. Jeez. Okay, I sold my entire position there. That has to be the most stupid trade I've ever. Oh no, I'm in. Right? Did I sell here, or did I can't tell. I actually can't tell. I think I'm still in the trade. Yeah, I try to get rid of it. Anyways, this is ridiculous. Like, if I'm being completely honest, this is just stupid because, like, obviously I should have been out a long time ago. I'm revenge trading all through this short, right? Stupid. I wouldn't be taking this, like, realistically. Now I'm just getting mad, so I'm just throwing at this point. This is kind of what happened in the last trade, where I was down like 800 in one day. I'm for sure down more than 800 right now. This is gonna be a couple $1,000 is what I'm gonna be down. Um, like I said, realistically, I would have shut it down after this second trade. And I definitely wouldn't be shorting it the way I am shorting it here. Like, clearly, it's not going in my direction. I even called out this symmetrical triangle formation on the 1 minute, and it's obviously ripping higher. And I even knew it was gonna do that. I'm still adding into my short. What's the point of it? No idea. Like I said, I'm literally just throwing at this point. I'm not even caring about my risk management or really caring about the trade in general. At this point, I'm just trying to see if it goes short, we can win big or something. I don't really know what the thought process is here. I'm just doing it. Um, the once this trade just completely rejected on me, that was kind of it. For sure, I did try on this one. I actually did believe it was going to break its low here of 1850, but once it broke this high, I mean, that's realistically where I should have stopped out, but instead I decided to let it run a little longer because I thought, oh, it's going to spike and then reject, because that's what I thought it was going to happen on this candle. I thought it was going to spike real quick, false break at 19 and reject. technically that's what did happen, but then this candle just couldn't break its low. So I should have stopped out a long time ago, or realistically, I should have taken profits because this was a good short entry. But I'm also catching major slippage here too. Like I'm not getting filled where I want to get filled, and the trades just aren't there. Like this stock, again, breaking my rules. So every single time I've traded something like this, I lose like every single time. It's volumes there, so that's good. It's within my price range. It's actually a little out of my price range. I'm gonna say my price range is gonna be from 4 to 15. So it was kinda in my price range, but obviously outside of it. Now we're hitting the 20s, and I don't typically trade up here in the 20s. Um, every time I've traded it, it's not choppy. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I should consider this a choppy stock or not. It seems pretty obvious some of these moves that it's making. I just can't capitalize on them at the right time. I'm not like here. I was trying to buy the bottom and get in for the next 1 minute high. I had seen some strength on the level 2, and I felt that it could go. But obviously I was wrong. It broke lower, and then within this candle, the candle, 1 too late, it decided to rip, and I was like, okay. So then I expected this next candle to spike up above its level, but it couldn't do it either. We get a 2 candle pullback, and then we finally get a green formation. And this was the candle I should have been buying on. Instead, I was trying to short it in this area. So this was just not a good short in general. Once it's seen that it had recovered and broke this high, that should have been an obvious long. Didn't even double top, it actually broke its last high. Nothing significant. But this once we get this pullback, I realize as I'm short here, instantly I realize, oh shoot, there's a symmetrical triangle here. And instead of me selling for a loss and a short, I decide let me keep adding into it for whatever reason. I decided to keep adding into it, and next thing you know, I'm just climbing here with a massive loss. So, this is a ridiculous trade. I shouldn't even be in here at this point, especially if this was a legit trade. This would definitely wrap me up for the day. Uh, like this would definitely have me out for the day. But like I said, I would have stopped on these two most likely and really waited and thought about the next trade. Um, Obviously, I'm not doing that, so I can't really say that's what I would have done because this is obviously what I am doing. But in a live account, like this wouldn't even be possible. I wouldn't even be able to take this many shares to short. And then this trade might have not been possible either, if I'm being realistic. So there's a rejection. But look at how whippy it is. Now at this point, this one's just crazy, crazy choppy. I wouldn't even know what my average is if I tried. If only there was a way to tell what my average was or what it is, that'd be great, but there's not. From what I'm seeing or what I understand, I don't believe there is. If the today turns into a green day for whatever reason, I'm definitely gonna have to scratch today off as a legitimate day just because this trade is ridiculously stupid. curious to see if we get the break at 20 here, and then I'll just completely cut my position. So I got rid of it there. Definitely going to be green on this trade, I think, now. Just because I accidentally I added 1,800 shares up here. Like, I wasn't expecting such a massive break of 20 though. Whatever, so sold 3,600 there. That would most likely put me green just because I have majority of the amount I added up here. So I'm not, it's gonna be break even or maybe a small loss, but I'm not entirely sure. But again, I had majority of the shares up here, so I'd imagine it's kind of a break even trade. Regardless, though, just a stupid trade in general. I wouldn't be, like I said, I couldn't even afford to do this in the actual live account. With this trade here, realistically, I probably would have tried to short this, but I would have stopped out as soon as I hit this high. So that would have been it. Now I don't remember entirely if I had to stop out here because I let it run, or if it was just that quick and then I had to stop out. I feel like it was just that quick, so this would have been a huge loss in the account. Not to mention these two. But the reason I say I would have stopped on these two is because obviously it wasn't working twice for me. It wasn't working twice, and that would have stopped me out for the day. Like, that would have been at least $150 loss. This loss right here, just the first one, could have been a $150 loss. It was what, 42 by 05, so it was, let's just estimate about a 40-cent loss, which comes out to almost 150 bucks. So that would have probably just stopped me for the day. If not, it was definitely going to be this trade here for the 20-cent loss as well. 30-cent loss just about, actually. That would have definitely stopped me out, and I would have been done. Like, for the day, I would have been done. I don't know, it just wouldn't have made sense to trade it, because at this point it was already getting extended. It was out of my price range. Like, I guess way out of my price range, and then to take this massive short here, that just wouldn't have made any sense. Like, one, I couldn't actually even do it. Two, it was just clearly going against me, and I knew it back here already. I don't know, stupid trade. Just like I said, I was throwing, just adding for no reason. Let me see. Strong stock, just not for me. I couldn't capitalize on it. I couldn't find the right moves, I guess. I was in too early on every position. Every single position except for this one. This one was just completely wrong. This one was also just completely wrong. Once it started popping here. Once it held that low, I should have stopped out and cut it. But instead I just kept adding. I guess this position I was right on, technically, but it was after a massive chase here. So I guess in here I was also in too early, some would say. But yikes, what a sloppy day today. Definitely not the day I was looking for. PLRX is literally the only one that's hit my scans pretty much all day. We got LGPC that also hit the scans, but I don't know what that's doing on my scans. PLRX is the only one. So I would have, like I said, I would have traded it. These two trades would have just stopped me out, and that would have been it for the day, I think. Would have wrapped it up at $150 loss, just about. But again, the spreads were crazy. Like, it's not that they're even that big. It's just, it's so whippy, so volatile, that it could put me down instantly. And then knowing that I was catching some major slippage when I hit the bid, that also really sucked. So that wasn't fun to experience, but that's why I would have had to stop out on the second trade here. I wouldn't have continued, because I would have just I would have caught slippage so many times already in this thing that it would have put me down at least 200, like, guaranteed. So, oh well, I'm gonna let PLRX run, I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong here. At least in the initial 3 trades. This last trade, I'm not even gonna count it. So if I'm up or down today, I'm not gonna even report it. I'm gonna report it as a loss here though. I'm gonna go ahead and calculate this and what it would have been as a loss, and I'm gonna put that as the main screenshot, I guess. But with this, I'm not even gonna count this trade because that's just bullshit. I mean, this is like, this wouldn't have happened. It couldn't even have happened. I don't even know if this trade could have happened either. 600 shares at this price range, 1920. You know, that would have definitely stopped me out with a major loss. But I'm gonna calculate all 3 of these anyways and see what this would come out to be. I don't know how I'm gonna calculate this one though. I have to get the average between these two and then figure out what I sold it for, which this definitely would have been several $100 loss right there, just in that one short position. But I'm definitely gonna review what I could have done different. And just looking at the trades right now, I could tell I should have waited on this pullback, just let it do its thing. Should have waited because at this point I had known it was gonna break 18. I guess it just wanted to hold. I could have added at 18, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a flush, so I sold right at 18. Again, caught bad slippage here at 42. I wasn't trying to get filled at 42. At least I don't think I was. This one, same thing. I should have waited for its pullback. This was an obvious long position. Just it was flagging here. I didn't recognize it right away. I just figured I would get in early and it would break its high here. Then it rejected, and then for some reason I decided, let me get in short at the break at 19 or the retest at 19. But this was an obvious long entry and I didn't take it. Instead I took it short. So that was just my fault for not recognizing what this was. Then you get a symmetrical triangle here. A symmetrical triangle, and for whatever reason I decided short just because at open it finished extremely low and I was expecting that break of this last 1 minute low. Obviously it couldn't do it and I recognized that, but instead of selling, I kept adding and adding and adding and adding. Once it broke its high here, I already knew this was gonna go long. Like, this was a guaranteed long. Instead, I just kept adding and adding and adding into my position on a short. Like I said, I'm pretty sure at this point I was literally just throwing. I just stopped caring and I just kept going. Mentally, that's something that I shouldn't be doing even in a sim. Like, realistically, I shouldn't be throwing like that, because what if I start throwing in a live account? Like, I should take the sim more seriously instead of just throwing like how I was here. But I guess just the frustration is, you know, something that I have to control or take better control of, because obviously if it wasn't going my way, I'm gonna have to sell for a loss. So these were like really FOMO trades, if I'm being honest. FOMO and revenge trading, just trying to make sure I was gonna win. I don't even know if I won the trade here, just in general. But I mean, would I really have done this? No, I couldn't even afford to do this if I wanted to. This one here, couldn't do it either. I'm pretty sure I could do this one, which is why I'm gonna count it, but I would have stopped that a lot sooner. As soon as I'd seen it was changing direction, I would have just taken the loss on it, or profit, because I was in the green for a while. So I don't know. That being said, that we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Let's see what we're. Yeah, like this doesn't make any sense. We're up 1,500. There's no way. So I'm gonna go ahead and calculate the losses here and see what these realistically were, and I'm gonna go ahead and post a video later. I'm gonna count today, but with the loss. There's no way I'm not gonna count today with this much profit. That's just bullshit. There's no way. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow.